Democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. Many countries are under a democratic political system of government where the people have representatives essentially speaking and voting on their behalf. Despite the claim that all of our members of parliament or Congress are on our side, throughout all written history, we've watched country after country being betrayed by those in charge. Whether the ruling party is left or right, the direction the nation is heading tends to be down. So, who should you vote for? Left? Right? Don't vote at all? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to talk about the Canadian elections that are going on at this time. But if you're from the US, if you're from Europe or different countries around the world, hang in there because this is going to be valid for you as well. Let's look at this first. We're going to cover the three major political parties here, starting with the Liberals or the Democrats. You see this, vote for real change. Where have I heard that one before? Change, change, change. That's Obama. 2008 got voted in based on change. He promised change. He didn't say what that change would be, but he promised it. And 2012, again, promised it. We haven't seen any positive changes. And yet, that's what's going on right now. So Justin Trudeau promising the same thing with the Liberal Party. Canadians can't afford another 10 years like the last 10 years. It's time for real change to help the middle class Canadians now. That's Justin Trudeau in the quote in the bottom right. So, can they have a better 10 years? Absolutely. Can this government actually provide better 10 years than the previous 10 years? Absolutely, they can. But when was the last time we saw actual positivity and actual truth coming out of a politician? I haven't seen that in quite some time, and anybody who makes it to the top spot isn't going to be the person that we really need in that top spot. There's a lot of claims coming out of the Liberals, but it's no different for the Conservatives. Let's look at this. Protect our economy. Look at their plan. Protect the economy, a balanced budget and low taxes, a stronger economy, hardworking families and seniors, more secure Canada. More secure means Patriot Act. It means beating in your door. Then you have safe streets. Of course, that's the militarized police crushing your skull. And strong communities. That's great. That's excellent. Sounds good. You have Stephen Harper here, who's basically in control of nothing because he reports to his overlords. And it's no different than any other head of state. The only reason why a particular head of state is put there, not because he's voted, but because he is put in place. That's the way it works. There's a lot of claims coming out of the Conservatives as well, and it's no different than what we've seen with the NDP. So these are the three parties, the three major parties that are going in here, and the NDP are making claims as well. What they're saying is that they're going to get rid of the tax loopholes for all the big CEOs. They're going to introduce carbon taxes. That's going to help out quite a bit here for the economy, and of course, stop pollution. That's what they're claiming anyway. And they've made some other claims. Of course, they make some good claims. They make some things I disagree with. But so do the Conservatives, so do the Liberals. Isn't that how it always seems? You may tend to agree with one more than the other, but they're all making big claims, really, really big claims. In fact, claims that they can never back up, promises they can never keep. And it's not attributed to one particular party. It isn't every time the Liberals get in, we have a big mess. We need Conservatives to get in there. I haven't seen a really, really strong and vibrant economy. I have seen a slow and steady decline. That's the way I'm putting this. And when you put bankers in charge of everything, when you put the wrong people in charge in the highest positions of government, guess what's going to happen? The corporations get richer. all by nature. You can't remove the loopholes. There's always going to be loopholes. They're just going to keep their money offshore. That's the way this is going to work. It's a joke. Okay, isidewith.com. This is a website that you can go to see who and which political party is best for you. Then they have the different sections at the bottom: popular issues, prescription drugs, environmental regulation, and universities, and everything else. So if you click on here, you're going to get a whole bunch of talking points for these political parties. What's best for you? Should I go with the conservatives or the liberals or what have you? Doesn't matter. It's all talking points. When they actually get put into power, they somehow forget about all of those promises that they made. Well, guess what? They didn't forget intentionally. They forgot intentionally, I should say. It's just the way it works. This is actually a funny link. It's very long, in fact, but does get into a lot of different issues. This is out of the Huffington Post. Liberals are concerned about economic inequality. Conservatives are confident that one day they'll be rich. Conservatives vote. Liberals don't vote, but they urge their fellow like-minded liberals to get involved. Liberals are honest about the complex issue of race. Conservatives don't see color. And it goes on and on here. Tons of stuff to check out. Basically, they try to tell you the differences between liberals and conservatives and sort of poke fun at it. And, it is worth a quick little skim through. What I'll say is, everything is surface level. When you look at what they're actually doing to the economy, to the businesses, to the middle class, it's always the same deal. Why? Because they're nothing but puppets. This has been documented over and over again. I'm sure 99% of the subscribers of the Money GPS know exactly what I'm talking about, but we're going to go over it anyway. Speaking of the Money GPS, in my book, I make the claim, with elections always around the corner, governments are always forced into having strong numbers for the short term. So you have this election cycle, 4 or 5 years, whatever it might be. And what happens every time they are running short on time for the next election cycle and perhaps that individual wants to get voted in again? Well, you have a little issue. They may have to print money. They may have to fudge with the numbers a little bit. They find ways to make up for it only in that short-term scenario. They're never worrying about the long-term economy. They're always stealing money. It's called intragovernmental debt. They steal from Social Security just like Bill Clinton did. They do all kinds of things like this. It's a complete joke. Let's move on to this. This is the real deal. This is bipartisan. This is the kind of thing that is never, ever discussed in the mainstream media. If it does get mentioned, it's at the back of the news. Will never get mentioned on primetime television. This is important. Judicial Watch releases the Pentagon records from the North American Forum meetings. Defense Secretary, senior military and staff met with Mexican and Canadian. Guess what? The US, Mexico, and Canada sat down to what they've called the North American Union. And this is just some things that I found right on the main page. The idea of the carbon tax was raised as a means to combat so-called global warming. What are they presenting right now, today? The carbon tax to be put into place. This was years ago where they talked about this, 2006. References to the Security and Prosperity Partnership occur throughout the documents. Remember that. The SPP, you can look that up on your own time. Very important. The notes for the presentations document and basically had to go into the North American integration. To what degree does the concept of North America help or hinder solving problems between the three countries? While a vision is appealing, working on the infrastructure might yield more benefit and bring more people on board. And guess what? Quote, evolution by stealth. There is nothing that should be within the government that is by stealth. It's supposed to be transparent, but guess what? Once again, we've been fooled. At least the general public is. Evolution by stealth. That means they're taking actions beyond what we can see, but sometimes we get little glimpses of that, little clips of that. Judicial Watch got this piece. Let's move into this here. Top secret data was released. The NSA. It looks like the Canadian government was actually funneling information to the NSA. That was released with all those documents that you saw from Edward Snowden, and even the different Canadian organizations were there to actually spy on Canadians themselves. The infrastructure is confirmed to be in place and data has been given out. These are confirmed facts. But is it liberals who are doing that? Is it conservatives who are doing that? No. This goes way beyond the politicians. They don't have a say in the real things that matter. Politicians are there to distract you while the real government pulls the strings. These are the kind of things that you need to do your research on. But it goes to show you that, well, if I'm not voting for the liberals or the conservatives, should I vote an independent party? How should I vote? Well, this right here is a quote. It's been attributed to a bunch of different people, similar quote. Every dollar you spend is a vote you cast for the world you want. Genius quote. I live by this quote, in fact. Let me give you an example. If I dislike Monsanto, I am a huge anti-Monsanto individual. Now, if I eat genetically modified food, if I eat processed food, I'm voting for Monsanto. I'm voting for the genetically modified food companies. If I eat MSG, if I drink the water with the fluoride in it, I'm voting for those industries, those corporations and organizations. Well, guess what? I refuse, absolutely refuse to have any part of those. And I've made that part of my life to do it this way. I'm not going to eat genetically modified food, and that's just what I do. If it's available to me, I have to say no. If it's offered to me, I'm saying no. I'm never going to choose that food. Of course, it can be snuck in there somehow, but I'm never going to make the choice intentionally to use these products and services. I always try to shop locally. I always do the things, take that extra step. Yes, sometimes I have to go and walk 5 minutes further or drive 10 minutes down the road further or take a half an hour of my extra time to do such and such task. But guess what? I'm voting with my dollars and I personally am making a difference. Guess what? You can do the same every single day of your life. Now, it may not affect the whole world today, but it's going to affect you and it's going to affect your family. And it will spread. It will spread like wildfire. And you know how I know that is that this channel, The Money GPS, was one guy speaking into a camera with just a few words, a few articles, and nothing but drive and energy. And that's the way this works. You can make a difference, but it has to start with one simple piece, and that is your dedication. Your desire to see that change in the world and make it what you want to be. Vote with your dollars. Don't vote for the political parties that have time and time again screwed us all over. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, you're going to find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. If you want to flip through the book, head over to Amazon. They have this look inside feature, which allows you to flip through the pages of the book to see if you like it. Take care.